When I say PE fund, the PE fund has two ways of looking at it. One is you set a PE fund here to invest in Taiwan, or you set up a PE fund here that could also invest both in Taiwan as well as outside Taiwan. Historically, I don't think PE has never been in Taiwan. PE has been in Taiwan more in the form of venture capital. And even today, I think there's a lot of ways that venture capital in Taiwan looks at, which are similar to how a PE looks at. They also look at investing in mature industries. Again, it's all around the venture capital framework. When I say PE, it's taking a slightly different approach, investing in mature industries, mature companies, which have less risk than compared to venture capital. That particular market in Taiwan has been quite it's not developed as much as it is elsewhere. So if I look at Taiwan, investing in Taiwan, there are a number of different sectors in Taiwan which we can invest. Taiwan, even though it's well developed, Taiwan does need investment into a number of infrastructure sectors. The reason I talk about infrastructure is infrastructure is a lot less risk compared to other venture capital sectors. So from the investor's point of view, infrastructure provides better return profile compared to the risk it actually provides. So risk return profile, infrastructure has a much better risk return profile than any other sector. So looking at infrastructure, in Taiwan, I would look at more forward-looking infrastructure like digital, environmental, net zero, or green energy. Where Taiwan wants to become world leader in many of these sectors. I think there's still a lot of opportunities to invest.
那在批放来讲话，我们其实可以设立在台湾只投台湾的产业，也可以设立在台湾投资在海外或者是国内这样子。那台湾，如果你说私募股权这个投资项目来讲，台湾其实比较盛行，应该是所谓的创投基金 VC。在这个整个分类上 ，VC 应该投比较前期的。可是台湾有些 VC 它可能也是投所谓的比较成熟的一间公司。那其实如果以PE 的这个角度来看的话，其实我们会比较倾向就是投所谓已经在营运当中成熟一点的公司。那我们的专长跟我们想要专注的一个地方是所谓的基础建设部分的一个产业。那基础建设的话呢，本身来讲它的这个风险性是稍微比较小一点点。如果相对于 VC 去投的一些产业的前期来说的话，我们觉得它其实可以提供给投资人比较好的这个所谓风险报酬的这个一个面向。所以这个是我们未来想要发展的一个地方。那包括数位化的基础建设，然后能源，特别是新能源的部分，还有这个政府推动的 net zero 的这个部分，其实我们都有很多的这个投资的机会可以去参与的。
For the current fund, we're looking at initially significant amount of fundraise we are looking at in Taiwan, so that we expect to channel Taiwanese institutional capital into Taiwanese assets primarily. While we think the Taiwan institutional investors are the major, we look at them as the primary fund providers. We also will explore opportunities to get money from external investors. Those investors who are already comfortable with Taiwan. For example, investors from Korea, Japan, who are already very familiar with Taiwan, and they're very happy to be invested in Taiwan as well. The funds coming from Korea or Japan may not necessarily come directly through funds, but it may also come through directly into the projects that we are investing as well.
那我们主要的这个资金的来源，我们还是比较想要就是在台湾的部分募集资金，然后主要是机构法人的部分。这也当然是说希望台湾的钱能够支持台湾的这个基础建设。那另外的话，我们的这个资金来源也有可能是从海外来的，主要是在这个韩国或者是日本，因为他们对台湾的市场有一定的认识。那当然也不一定会直接透过基金，也有可能他们对于我们所投资案件特别有兴趣的话，他们也可以直接投资这个台湾的这个某一个案件。
We are the first fund that has first independent fund manager who has received NDC approval in Taiwan. We have met up with a number of institutional investors in the past. Obviously, there's a lot of positive feedback from the institutional investors. Whoever we have spoken to has provided a lot of positive feedback with what we have our sectors and how we are trying to do the investments. But we did not have the approval. We did not have NDC approval at that point in time, and they couldn't invest in us. So now that we have an NDC approval, we'll be going back to the investors and working with them to see how we can help them invest into the fund as well as our project.
在这个没有获得国发会的这个资格函之前，其实我们已经拜访过一些机构法人，特别是所谓的保险公司。那当然，他们对于我们的这些所谓基础建设的投资，其实都抱持蛮正面的一个回馈给我们的，也对于我们所要投资的这个产业，然后也我们怎么样去管理这些基金，其实都有蛮正面的一些回应。那但是因为受限于这个保险法规的关系，所以必须有这个所谓 NDC 的这个国发会的这个资格函，所以在我们取得这个资格函之后呢，那当然我们会再去跟保险公司去接触，那当然也不排除有其他的这个机构非保险业的这个机构法人的部分，我们也会去拜访。
I think insurance companies have a lot of capital. However, they have a lot of restriction as to where they can allocate the capital into. Obviously, they need to match their assets to their liabilities, both from the asset life point of view as well as in the currency. What we think why we think Taiwan is attractive for insurance companies from private equity perspective is, even though private equity is illiquid asset, a long-term, mid to long-term asset, it also is a local currency asset because it eliminates any fluctuations in currency exchange, as well as since these assets are long-term assets, the assets that we are looking at to invest is infrastructure assets. They're more stable assets. The valuation doesn't fluctuate as much, so they provide a more stable valuation, stable cash flows, as well as they take out the forex risk. So all of those combined should make it quite attractive. Having said that, I think their allocation will be a big factor in deciding where the money goes in as well.
那如果就保险公司的一个角度来看的话，因为其实他们受限比较多的法规的一个限制，那包括他们这个资产跟负债的匹配，还有包括这个他们有关于这个货币上面的一些问题。那所以对于这个所谓的 PE 放这样子比较长期，然后比较不具流动性的一个这样的资产来讲的话呢，那我们觉得投资在这所谓的基础建设部分的话，它其实是一个比较稳定的一个资产，包括它的评价上面不会有太大的一个波动，还有我们倾向就是说主要投资在台湾的这些产业上面，所以货币上面也会以台币来计价。对于保险公司来说的话呢，在这个货币的这个配置上面来讲，也不会受到汇率的一些影响。所以我们觉得这方面来讲的话，其实对保险公司来说是一个比较有吸引力的一个产品。
I think in offshore investments, for example, in my previous fund that we used to manage together, previously, not here, we invested in Korea, for example. In Korea, we invested in a waste management company, and we made the waste management company into almost zero to Korea's largest waste management company, industrial waste management company. If you look at that provided a lot of returns for our investors, almost like close to 30% returns over a 5-year period, which is not heard of in, say, infrastructure industry. But you can potentially get those kind of returns if you properly structure investment, make it in the right sectors, and also in a good structure where you can create a lot of value to the investment.
过去的这个经验来说的话呢，可以举一个比较成功的一个案件，就是说在这个韩国的部分，他们就是一些废弃物的公司从小公司最后整并成韩国最大的一个废弃物处理公司。那所以在这个大概5年期间的话，得到大概30% 左右的一个报酬率。那这个就是说，透过一个好的架构，然后好的一个管理方式呢，我们觉得其实是蛮多机会可以将一些公司，然后最后以一个非常好的一个报酬去出场，然后帮投资人赚取一个报酬。
So again, today, if you ask me, is the same opportunity available? Maybe not same opportunity, but something similar is always available. Even without even going the rest of the world, within Asia itself, it could be Korea, it could be Southeast Asia, it could be India. There's still loads of opportunities that we can potentially go and invest into.
所以你说会不会有一样的案子，也不太可能说东西都是一模一样，但是其实有一些类似的机会，可以运用过去的这些经验，然后在亚洲这边或者是在台湾也可以找寻到同样的这样子一个投资。
We have, over the past 3 years, we have been working on developing investment projects. We have developed projects, we have developed investments in waste management in in Taiwan. All the projects that we have developed are all in Taiwan, by the way. Waste management, we have logistics sector, we have digital infrastructure, digital data storage and digital infrastructure, as well as in new agriculture in Taiwan. So in addition to these, we are also exploring opportunities to invest in renewable energy, both offshore, onshore, as well as solar and hydrogen.
其实过去3年，其实还没有这个国发会这件这个之前呢，其实我们就已经开始在做一些案子了，也在开发一些案件。所以在我们过去3年当中呢，我们其实开发案件包括废弃物处理，然后还有这个所谓的物流，还有这个数位的基础建设，包括这个数据中心，还有新农业等等，这个也都是在台湾所推动的这个主要的一些策略性重要的产业里面。那当然，未来我们也是对于这所谓的新能源也是非常有兴趣。那包括太阳能啊，然后还有这个氢气的部分，这个都是我们也是有兴趣再继续开发的一些案件。
Some of the investment that we'll be looking at, we will be looking at fund to make a majority. Fund to take majority stake in these companies or sector. The companies focus on these sectors, or we might be working with some companies which are already really good in these sectors.
所以我们大部分的一个投资的一个想法，就是说我们大概会属于多数持股的一个方式。那当然也会跟有些公司可能它本来规模是算小，但是它其实是有经验的，然后有能力的，那只是缺乏资金。那这样的公司其实我们也可以一起合作。
The most important aspect in investing when you take a majority stake is also to put in place a very good management. Have a really good business strategy, put in place very good management, and then help the management to execute the strategy as well.
所以，如果多数持股的话，其实这个作为比较大股份的一个基金，作为一个比较大股份的一个股东来说的话，它才能够去实现它的策略。那包括譬如说怎么样让管理阶层更完善，还有引进更好的人才。那怎么样去执行我们所谓定下来的这个业务计划，才能够帮助这些公司越来越强大？